So today let's look at data models. Let's look at data models. A database module defines the logical design and structure of a database and defines how data will be stored, accessed, and updated in a database management system. So basically that is what a database model means. One that defines the logical design and structure of a database and defines how data will be stored, accessed, and updated in a database management system. Let's continue and say, while the relational model is the most widely used database module, there are other models too. So let's look at these types of database modules that we are talking about. So number one, we have the hierarchical database management system model. A hierarchical model from the word hierarchy, a hierarchical model represents the data in a tree-like structure in which there is a single parent for each record. To maintain order, there is a sort field that keeps sibling nodes that are the same or are in the same family, sibling nodes, into a recorded manner. These types of models are designed basically for the early mainframe database management systems like the information management system by IBM. This model structure allows the one-to-one and one-to-many relationship between two or more types of data. This structure is very helpful in describing many relationships in the real world. Table of contents is an example of the hierarchical model. Any nested and stored information can also be an example of the hierarchical model. The hierarchical structure is used as the physical order of records in storage. If you remember, maybe while making attendances or while organizing files, we normally do things either alphabetically in a descending order or an ascending order. So you either do it from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or from Z, Y, X, like that. So it is either ascending or descending. So this is what we call the hierarchical structure. You either follow from top to bottom or from bottom to top. So that can be one example of physical ordering of records. Let's continue. One can access the records by navigating down through the data structure using pointers which are combined with sequential accessing. Therefore, the hierarchical structure is not suitable for certain database operations when a full path is not also included for each record. Data in this type of database is structured hierarchically and is typically developed as an inverted tree. We're going to see how that looks like. The root in the structure is a single table in the database, and other tables act as the branches flowing from the root. The diagram below shows a typical hierarchical database structure or design. So let's have a look at this first. So college to infrastructure represents what we call the one-to-one relationship module or design of data. College to infrastructure, that is one-to-one. If we describe one-to-many, we're seeing like college to department. Department has subsections where we have course, teachers and students, and then course also has subsections where we have theory and labs, and it can go on and on and on and on. Let me show you another example. So let's look at such a structure. We have Hoima Public School. Under Hoima Public School, we have nursery and primary school. We're trying to talk about and illustrate a one-to-many relationship data design. Let me put it here. Okay. So we have Hoima Public School, and we have under Hoima Public School we have nursery school and primary school. As you can see, under nursery school we can have baby class, middle class and top class. And under primary school we can have P1, P2 up to P7. So this is a typical representation of a one-to-many relationship data design. And you can see that it is structured in form of a tree. So this is a typical representation of a one-to-many relationship data design in a database management system. So we can see Hoima Public School, primary school, then nursery school. Then under nursery school we have baby class, top class, and under primary we have P1 to P7. So this is the hierarchical structure. If you turn it upside down, you will obviously see a tree-like structure. Right now it is a tree-like structure, but it is inverted, it is upside down. Hope that is clear. Let me show you another example. So this is another example of the hierarchical model or data design. We can see we have shoes. Under shoes we have men's shoes and women's shoes. Under women's shoes we have high heels and bellies. I don't even know what those are. And under men's shoes we have what we call sports shoes and sneakers, maybe office wear shoes. So this is how a one-to-many relationship in the hierarchical structure is designed. Let's continue. A relationship in this database model is represented by the term parent-child. A parent table can be linked with one or more child tables in this type of relationship, but a single child table can be linked with only one parent table. The tables are explicitly linked via a pointer stroke index or by the physical arrangement of the records within the tables. A user can access the data by starting at the root table and working down through the tree to the target data. The user must be familiar with the structure of the database to access the data without any complexity. The IBM Information Management System and the RDM Mobile are examples of the hierarchical database system with multiple hierarchies over the same data. Those are the typical examples we have. So let me try to explain what we mean by the child and parent relationship. From the illustration you're seeing right now, this one at the top, college is the parent, while department and infrastructure are the child. Bwebwana, these are the child. The college is the parent. When we go further down, now the department becomes the parent, and the course teachers and students become the child. Not grandchildren, but child. When we go further, course becomes the parent and theory and labs becomes the child. So that is how the hierarchy flows. It is always from top to bottom. It is one way. That is why they have said that a parent table can be linked with one or more child tables in this type of relationship, but a single child table can be linked with only one parent table. So something like course will not be linked to department and infrastructure, but department can link course teachers and students. Let me show you another example. Under this example, shoes becomes the parent, and women's shoes and men's shoes becomes the child. When we go further down, women's shoes becomes the parent, and high heels and bellies become the child. Like we've said, a single parent can connect to many child data relationships, but a single child will not connect to many parents. That's why we can't have high heels for both men and women. That is impossible in the hierarchical data structure or model. We can't have that. If you have any questions, please, I'll be ready to answer them. So let's look at the advantages of the hierarchical database management system model. Number one, a user can retrieve data very quickly due to the presence of explicit links between the table structures. That is number one. Number two, the referential integrity is built in and automatically enforced, due to which a record in a child table must be linked to an existing record in a parent table. Along with that, if a record deleted in the parent table, then that will cause all associated records in the child table to be deleted as well. I don't know how clear this is. For example, if you create a group on WhatsApp, the moment you delete, you can delete individual chats from people, you can delete contacts. But if you delete the group, everything the group, every data in the group disappears. Images, videos, documents, etc. They will all disappear. So this is why I was saying that if a record deleted in the parent table, then that will cause all associated records in the child table to be deleted as well. Hope this has some clarities. Disadvantages. When a user needs to store a record in a child table that is currently unrelated to any record in the parent table, it gets difficult in recording, and the user must record an additional entry in the parent table. You cannot produce a child you don't have. That is almost impossible. So that is the problem with the hierarchical database management system model. There has to be a parent in order for a child to be present. You kill the parent, the children will go with the parent. Disadvantage 2. This type of database cannot support complex relationships, and there is also a problem of redundancy, which may result in producing inaccurate information due to the inconsistent recording of data at various sites. So this type of model does not support complex relationships. It cannot. If you have any questions about the hierarchical DBMS, inbox me, I'll be ready to answer. Let's look at the network database management system. Network database management system model. The network model is the extension of the hierarchical structure because it allows many-to-many relationships to be managed in a tree-like structure that allows multiple parents. In other words, network databases are hierarchical databases, but unlike hierarchical databases where one node can have one parent only, a network node can have a relationship with multiple entities. A network database looks more like a cobweb, an interconnected network of records. In network databases, children are called members and parents are called occupiers. The difference between each child or member can have more than one parent. There are two fundamental concepts of a network model. 1. Records contain fields that need hierarchical organization. That is 1. And then 2. Sets are used to define one-to-many relationships between records that contain one owner, many members. So those are the two fundamental concepts of a network model. Number 1, records contain fields that need hierarchical organization. And 2, sets are used to define one-to-many relationships between records that contain one owner and many members. A record may act like an owner in many number of sets and a member in any number of sets. Some well-known database systems that use the network model include 1. Integrated data store, and 2. Integrated database management system. So this is a typical example or structure of a network model. You can see stores are associated with the clerks are associated with customers, they are all associated with transactions, so it is networked. You can have more than one parent, you can have more than one child. Advantages: there is fast data access. That is number 1, because they are networked, so there is fast database access. There is fast data access, 2, it also allows users to create queries
that are more complex than those they created using the hierarchical database. So a variety of queries can be run over this model. Then disadvantages. A user must be very familiar with the structure of the database to work through the set structures. A user must be very familiar with the structure of the database to work through the set structures. 2. Updating inside this database is a tedious task. One cannot change a set structure without affecting the application programs and use this structure to navigate through the data. If you change a set structure, you must also modify all references made from within the application program to that structure. You must change them. So that is all with the network model. Let's look at the relational database management system model. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management Systems. All modern database management systems like SQL, MS SQL Server, IBM DB2, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access are based on the RDBMS. It is called Relational Database Management System because it is based on the relational model introduced by EF Code. Standard relational databases enable users to manage predetermined data relationships across multiple databases. Standard relational databases enable users to manage predetermined data relationships across multiple databases. Popular examples of relational databases include Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle Database, MySQL, and IBM DB2. So this is how they work for them, the relational. This is how they work. One server, very many clients. For example, on table 1, the top left, on table 1, a student number is used to refer to another table below, as you can see. While in table 2 on the top right, a subject ID or a subject number is used to refer to the lower table. We shall see that practically when we are studying SQL, because we have to learn it in this course unit. Relational databases work on each table. Relational databases work on each table has a key field that uniquely indicates each row, and that these key fields can be used to connect one table of data to another. The relational database has two major reasons. Number 1, relational data can be used with little or no training. If you've ever used Microsoft Access, you can relate a bit. It can be used with little or no training. Number 2, database entries can be modified without specifying the entire body. Database entries can be modified without specifying the entire body.
So those are the two major reasons as to why people choose relational database models. Advantages of relational database model. Simplicity is number one. Number two is ease of data retrieval. It is very easy to access data in a relational database model. 3, there is data integrity. We talked about it in the previous advantages of a database. There is data integrity. Then there is also flexibility, since it is easier to change or to update some data in this model. Disadvantages. Relational database management system models tend to be slow and not scalable. If you have more servers, you cannot always do more work with them. So they are slow and they are not scalable. That is the first disadvantage, which means the more data you get, you have to buy more computers, more storage space, etc. Number 2, they have a fixed schema, which is a plus unless this hurts productivity too much. So they have a fixed schema, or they have a fixed table. It is okay to draw rows and columns, but they have a limit, because if you draw very many, they will slow down the database. Number 3, tables don't always map to objects in applications very well. Tables don't always map to objects in applications very well. That is the other disadvantage. The other disadvantage is they are not secure enough to expose to the internet, and need a layer to be added to protect them. So this kind of model is very open, which means it is not secure enough. Anyone can get in, edit data, and destroy things. The other disadvantage is they are not good at modeling certain kinds of data, such as graphs and geospatial queries. So they are hard at they become hard at this. They are not good at modeling certain kinds of data, such as graphs and geospatial queries. The last disadvantage is they are not good at storing very large records. They are not good at storing very large records. So those are the advantages of relational data models. The other type of a data model is the object-oriented model. The object-oriented model. An object-oriented
database management system is a database management system that supports the creation and modeling of data as objects. The creation and modeling of data as objects. Object-oriented database model also includes the support for classes of objects and the inheritance of class properties, and incorporates methods, subclasses, and objects. Most of the object databases also offers some kind of query language permitting objects to be found through a declarative programming approach, also called an object database management system. In other words, an object-oriented database management system represents information in the form of objects as used in object-oriented programming. Object database management system allows object-oriented programmers to develop products, store them as objects, and replicate or modify existing objects to produce new ones within object-oriented database management systems. Object-oriented database management system allows programmers to enjoy the consistency that comes with one programming environment, because the database is integrated with the programming language and uses the same presentation module. Object-oriented databases use small, rescalable, separated from software called objects. Object-oriented databases use small, recyclable, separated from software called objects. The objects themselves are stored in the object-oriented database. Each object contains two elements. The first element is piece of data, which may include sound, video, text, or graphics. The other element is instructions or software programs called methods for what to do with the data. Object-oriented database management systems were created in the early 1980s. Some object-oriented database management systems were designed to work with object-oriented programming languages such as Delphi, Ruby, C++, Java, and Python. Some popular examples of object-oriented database management systems are Tornado, Gemstone, Object Store, GBase, VBase, InterSystems Cache, Versant Object Database, Odaba, ZODB, Poet, JADE, and Infomix. Advantages of object-oriented databases.
Advantages of object-oriented databases. Number 1 is enriched modeling capabilities. Enriched modeling capabilities. Number 2 is extensibility, which means it can be extendable. Number 3 is object-oriented databases are capable of handling a large variety of data types. When you talk about data types, we're talking about images, music, videos, etc. We're talking about numbers, letters, etc. Number 4 is support for schema evolution. And number 5 is there is improved performance, because object-oriented databases are organized and thus enable easy access of data. Disadvantages. An object-oriented database is more expensive to develop. Most organizations are unwilling to abandon and convert from those databases. They are unwilling to abandon and convert from those databases, so yet they are expensive to develop. Conclusion. In the above article, we've studied databases, types of databases, advantages and disadvantages of each type of database, history, and the timeline of these databases.